Interesting is to see is that, was he on something? Was he allegedly intoxicated at the time? You know, I wonder if, I don't know.
He
Why?
does have mental health issues, so it may appear that the state that he was in may come off as appearing intoxicated, but he does have mental health issues to why his
So
behavior is.
you had the full offense report?
Yes, Judge, I'm pulling it up right
Is
now.
there any indication of intoxication at all? Is he using anything?
There's no indication.
Read it, Your Honor.
You have a copy of the warrant too?
Yes, I did, and I read it.
Anything?
It doesn't say anything about intoxication or abnormal behavior aside from that.
Okay, on the first case on Guerrero, do we know whether the complaining witness wants to have contact?
Still haven't been able to get successfully in contact with her.
I'd like to do PC with him out here.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
You speak English, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's jail?
Ain't fine.
Good. It's not supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Disappointed. I wasn't even supposed to be there.
Let's talk. We'll figure out why. All right. Both of you guys have picked up criminal cases. You've not made bond, and you don't have anyone that's going to make a bond for you. That's why you're in there right now. Your lawyer is asking for me to give you either a PR bond or to lower your bond, and we're going to have a discussion now as to whether that's going to happen or not. I'm a firm believer that everybody should be given at least one chance to see whether they're going to do right or not, right? So hold on. Just don't say anything yet. You'll get your chance, I promise. Mr. Guerrero, let's start with you. So you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 27, 2025, at 8:11 a.m., the officers arrived on the scene for a weapons disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officers met with a complainant and a witness outside the residence and later met with the defendant inside the residence. The complainant stated the defendant, the ex-husband, lives with her at the house since last year. The complainant stated the defendant has threatened her numerous times and she was scared of what the defendant would do if she called the police. And on November 3rd, 2024, the defendant texted the complainant, I didn't put I'm fucking you up when you come back, bitch, but never assaulted the complainant. And in the middle of December 2024, the complainant was on the phone talking with a friend when the defendant approached the complainant from behind and tried to take her phone and shouted the phone away from the complainant. The complainant ran out of the residence out of fear. Around Christmas 2024 at approximately 7 to 8 p.m., the complainant and the defendant were arguing about the complainant's boyfriend having a key to her vehicle. The complainant and the defendant went to go get the keys and the defendant stated, I'm going to kill him. The complainant was in fear and the complainant's boyfriend did not want police called. On January 26, 2025, the defendant came out of his room and the complainant's jacket on the chair where the defendant's cane normally rests, and the defendant saw his cane laying on the floor, and the defendant accused the complainant of placing it there. The defendant followed the complainant into the kitchen and was close to her face. The defendant told her, you know I can hit you with this cane. I can hit you with this. Next time I will hit you. The defendant was waving the cane in her face as he said this, and the complainant was in fear of what the defendant may do to her. The defendant calmed down, so the complainant did not call the police. The complainant called the police the next morning because she wanted him out of the house. The witness, the son, corroborated the complainant's telling of events and stated the defendant said to the complainant, I could hit you if I want to, and was close to the complainant in the hallway and was waving the cane in the complainant's face.
Guerrero, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. The magistrate here did not give you a PR bond. If I give you a PR bond, I want assurances that you're not going to have contact with the complaining witness in this case.
Not gonna.
You're not going to have.
Daughter, she's gonna take me somewhere else.
That's it. 95% of the people that are in jail now, because they have no self-control, they get upset and they wig out and do whatever they, without thinking, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? Would you like me to give you a PR bond?
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to have contact with them, and I want you to have self-control. I've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. I'm giving you a chance now.
Yes.
Don't pick up any new cases and don't disappoint us.
No, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
And mind filing those conditions that he's not to have contact with this person.
No weapons, Your Honor, as well.
No weapons, no contact. I am also entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Cortez as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
If you have kids and they live with her, then use someone else. Don't call, don't go over there, because you now know no one's going to bond you out. So if you end up going back to jail, you'll be stuck like Chuck.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, I'm giving you a chance.
Okay.
Okay. So please, if you can still file those conditions, no contact, no weapons. Now, Mr. Ellis, your case is quite a bit more complicated. You were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Yes, Judge. On January 29th, 2025, at approximately 3:29 p.m., the officer dispatched to a weapons disturbance call at 5900 Long Drive in Harris County, Texas. The officers were given a description of the defendant and that he was dancing, waving a gun. The officer arrived at the location and saw the defendant matching the description at a bus stop. The officers observed the handgun sticking out of the defendant's front right pocket, and the officers told the defendant to put his hands up, and the defendant continuously refused orders from the officers to let go of the firearm. The officers used force and pulled the defendant's arms away, and the defendant continued to grip the firearm, attempting to pull it out of his pocket. The officer was hit by the defendant while pulling away, and the officer was thrown into a metal and glass wall at a bus stop. The officer sustained minor abrasions to his right arm, and the officer struggled with the defendant for approximately 6 minutes until detaining him. The officer spoke with a witness who stated she was walking to work and heard and saw the defendant dancing and rapping while waving around a firearm multiple times.
Mr. Ellis, let me read something to you. This is why the magistrate did not give you a PR bond in this case. Defendant on a 3-year deferred for a state jail felony since 3/21/24 allegedly stole CBD disposables. In this case, the witness called to report a man dancing around and waving a firearm in the air at the 5900 Long Drive in Houston, Texas. Law enforcement officers arrived, saw defendant matching the description as sitting at a bus stop, saw butt of gun sticking out of his pocket. Law enforcement officers told defendant to put his hands up. Defendant instead reached for his gun. Do you know how many people die from that very thing right there? Watch the news every single day in America. A young person dies just because of that very thing right there. Law enforcement officer struggled with the defendant as he continued to reach for the firearm, finally got him cuffed after approximately 6 minutes, then recovered a loaded .45 pistol from his pocket. One law enforcement officer injured during the struggle, pushed against the wall of the bus stop, sustained minor abrasions. Could have been another assault of a peace officer, which is a 3rd-degree felony, 2 to 10 in the penitentiary right there. Witness identified defendant as a person she saw dancing, rapping, pulling out a black pistol from his pants and waving it around multiple times, not obeying NFC of the deferred, the conditions of the deferred. Public safety concerns, indigent per AFC. This is the reason why you were not given a PR bond in this case. And quite frankly, Mr. Ellis, it scares me that if we let you out, what's going to happen? Sometimes we have to protect people from themselves because of their own worst enemy. Counsel, what would you like?
I would like to get his bond lowered. He is staying with his mother. His mother will be able to, keep an eye out on him and make sure that he does abide by the conditions that was previously set. I will give her a call today. He's looking for work and he has a child on the way. We're just asking for a lower bond.
What do you do with yourself these days, Mr. Ellis?
Looking for a job so I could take care of my family because right now I'm with a whole 36-year-old and I'm 20 years old and I'm taking care of her kids, her and myself. And I'm staying with my mom and I'm in and out with my baby. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on. And then even dealing with that third-degree
That's
felony
not,
charge.
I don't want to talk about the cases. My concern is that, Mr. Ellis, you're a baby yourself and now you got a kid on the way. How many kids you got?
To be my first, because I lost my first son at the age of 15, stillborn.
You were 15 when you had your first kid?
I will make contact with his mother, Your Honor, before I leave today. She's present in his life.
What's going on with the deferred upstairs? Have they done anything? Have they filed a motion to revoke?
Let me see. It does not appear that at this time they filed a motion.
Think as far as a bond reduction? State.
Your Honor, based on the fact of the nature of him being a threat to the community and to the officer themselves, which are considered under 1750, and we request 5,000 would be.
I'm requesting 2,500, Judge. He's out of work and the person that would make bond for him would be his mother. And
How long has he been on probation? He's been on probation for a year. Let me see how well he's done. He's already had one BVR. You know, when you're on felony probation, you're supposed to live like you have a halo above your head because you're really looking at a lot of time in prison. And the way things are going now, this is not a good way to go. You're going to end up either dead, in prison. It's hard enough in this society as a black or brown person. All you're doing is making it more difficult. The older you get, the more difficult life gets. And if you don't have a skill, a trade, knowledge, you're going to end up with a 40-year sentence or in a gutter, begging, because life sucks without money. And what you're doing now, all you're doing is you're making life even just the more difficult as it is. The more convictions you get, the more unemployable you get. If you don't believe me, when you go back there in the pods, ask. All the old timers that are in there, ask. You're 20. Don't squander your opportunity. I'll give you a bond reduction. I'll set it to 10,000 now.
okay.
I'd like to have contact with mom. So
Okay.
somehow if you can like arrange so we can figure out how we can get through to Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
So what we can do to, I'm not opposed to a PR bond,
Okay.
but I want to know that somehow we have some kind of structure in place so that we know.
Okay, Judge. I will call her today. How would you like me to get back in contact?
I'm assuming he might go to felony court Monday. We can roll it to Monday.
Okay.
And then just stay in the loop with me and then we'll structure things so that we can try to get him on the up and up.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Let you die here. I'm not going to let you squander this opportunity. I will stay on top of this until we get you going well, because the way that you're going now, it sucks. It's not good. You're not to use any weed. You're not to use any alcohol. And I'm going to stay on top to make sure. I'm giving you a curfew. I'm going to do all these conditions to make sure you're not going to end up another statistic. Do you understand? So we're going to roll your case to Monday because I want to see if we can get your mom involved in this, see where we can go. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
The pure bonds.
No, yeah, PR bond on Guerrero and then 10G on Mr. Holtz.
Is the amount staying the same on the pure bond?
Say it again?
Is the amount staying the same on the pure bond? The amount?
Yeah, that's, sure.
Judge, did you do the BO for Ellis?
I'll do it right now.
Okay, please. If not,
Hey, Mac, what's up?
Hey, Judge. I don't know if you have the bandwidth for this right now, but I have a client who was arrested on a warrant on Tuesday and he got out of jail last night. He also
And
was,
now?
right. So he just got out. He just had a felony setting upstairs, but his arraignment isn't until
Yeah, we can do it
next
now.
Thursday.
Sure,
Okay.
Absolutely.
I just need to get domestic violence here because I think the other case that he had a warrant for is being handled by them. So let me.
Is Gabe busy?
I don't think Sebastian is busy. I can get,
Oh, is it Sebastian? Why is she
Sebastian.
calling him gay?
yes.
That's why he's not answering.
You might.
No, that's Sebastian.
Do you need a call?
Man, I need a list. I need a list. Calling him out. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Ay, caramba la bamba.
254857. The last one.
I'll get Sebastian down.
Thank you.
Hi, of course.
Okay, I'm
Happy
here on
Friday.
off docket matter, Ms. Keys. 2548155. You sent me an email a couple of days ago.
Oh,
about
right,
her.
right. Okay.
But the issue is that I'm asking you to open up, I'm here to request that you open up her curfew so she can take her son to school. So that's why she had left 10 minutes early, but she said she's out the house
Okay.
at 5:30 and she's here today.
Okay, come up, ma'am.
After this video.
Repeat the cost number one.
Okay, 2548155.
5481.
So what would you like?
I'm asking, I have the scram on and I have the monitor on, and for the curfew, I'm asking, my son has to be to school at 6 o'clock and my curfew is 7. He plays basketball, he's in sports, so they have
I got it.
practice before school. And
want
he goes to
5:30?
school out of district, so I'm asking if I can have 5:30.
Okay.
I take him to school and I come right back home, and I don't have a problem with my curfew. And then I wanted to also ask, with the scram and with the monitor on, if you can reinstate my driving privileges, because twice my son has been late
Oh,
to school.
Well, I was gonna pull her record,
I don't know what your driving record is. I mean,
yeah, I didn't know about her privileges. I know she has an interlock device, but I didn't know that
I
her
don't have an
privileges
interlock
were.
device. I don't have an interlock device.
I'll run it
Oh,
around.
you don't?
No, because I don't have a car. So, but my sister let me use her car
no.
Have driving privileges.
because when I came to court, I thought
He told you not to drive. Okay, I
He
gotta
told
look
me
at your
not,
bond
yeah, he
conditions.
told me not to
Okay.
drive into court. And so,
As a
I
note, Your
came
Honor,
to
it's
court.
eligible with the last suspension ending in April of 2024.
Read me the dims, please.
The DIMS, yes, Your Honor. On January 18th, 2024, the officer observed a vehicle failing to drive in a single lane at the 8600 block of West Grant Parkway. The defendant was swerving in and out of 2 lanes and came close to crashing into another vehicle in the next lane. A traffic stop was conducted and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed disorientation, a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, and slurred speech. The defendant could not provide an ID or insurance, and the officer observed an open container of alcohol on the floorboard next to her feet. The defendant stated she had not consumed alcohol, and the officer observed slow movements and unsteadiness on her feet. Centerfield sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.29 and 0.294.
Does she have any other open DWIs or anything?
This is the one where she has an open DWI out of Austin County.
That's why. You have 2 open DWIs. I don't want you driving. You're not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive, I'm going to have a contempt hearing. So I hope above all else, you are not driving. You heed this warning, Ms. Keys. You are not allowed to drive. If I find that you're driving someone else's car in violation, you're looking at 6 months in jail every single time you have signed an affidavit promising you that you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. You have 2 open DWIs. There's alcohol in the car allegedly. Unacceptable.
And then opening up my privilege is the reason why I asked it, because also, unless I sign over custody of my kid, I'm the only one that can sign him to school. So what's been going on is I have to ride with her to drop him off, and then she brings me back.
Okay.
I have not
I will-
violated any
If you
conditions
want
of
me
my
to
bond.
open up the curfew, I will, but I don't want you driving. Do you understand?
Yes.
There is a method to our madness here. And 2 open DWIs, a .2 with alcohol in the car tells me that there is an issue. The last thing I want is someone dead. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I will open it up to 5:30. I hope Because imagine what's going to happen to your child if you go to jail and I make your bond $50,000 and you don't have anyone to make it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, listen.
Yes, ma'am.
May we be excused?
Yes, please.
Do she need to sign?
She will need to sign yes, the commission. Yes. Darling,
Hi, Judge. I'm approaching on a new hire, so it's our
Yes.
first
Are you ready?
appearance. I am ready. McArdle.
okay, yeah, McCarter, come on up. And then Mac, I'm ready when you are, you know?
Yeah, we're just waiting on the DV.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Mac has wants to do a new case, PC. Mac, do you mind giving it to her? Thanks.
Page 13.
Morning,
Good morning,
Judge.
Mr. McCardle. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Yes, Judge.
On January 25th, 2025, the officer stopped the vehicle for failing to maintain a single lane of traffic at the 3300 block of NASA Parkway. The officer observed the vehicle failed to maintain a single marked lane multiple times, and the vehicle had no license plate. The officer initiated a traffic stop, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slowed, delayed speech, and the defendant was asked to exit the vehicle, and the officer performed center field sobriety tests. HGN 6 out of 6. And then the defendant was then transported back to the station to continue testing, where he refused any more testing. The DIC was read, and the defendant refused a breath test. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Mr. McCardle, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Any prior DWIs?
No priors, Your Honor, and I'm running his license right now.
Please. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive. If you do not have either, then you're not allowed to drive. You've got a great lawyer. Listen to her. She'll take care of you. Because you have her representing you, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you must stay in touch with her. If she tells you she can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case. You've seen what happens, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, that
I'm not asking for much. I just want my community to say. That's all. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. You'll get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and then you guys are free to go.
thank you,
All
sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, Judge.
Hi,
Hey, Judge.
Sebastian.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
I've been calling you Gabe. So
no.
embarrassing. I'm so sorry. But I'm so sorry. Stop. Okay, let's go. It's something else. Okay, let's go for it. Who do you got?
The only thing I was going to ask, Judge, if we could bring my client out so they could hear this, Mr. Larry Bass.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Bass. I'm bringing you out today because apparently we need to figure out what's going on and I have no idea.
Yes, Judge.
Tell me.
I'm here asking for a PR bond for my client. He's had his case pending since 2023 in December. December 2023. The thing that stands out from what he tells me is he came voluntarily to turn himself in to rectify this situation that's been open for a couple of years now. And so that I do want to state that he came on the bus to try to figure this out. The reason he's doing this is because he is at a point where he's trying to fix his CDL, and this keeps popping up as an open warrant.
Can't run forever, dude.
Yes, sir.
Can't run forever. You know, problem is that I'm happy to give people PR bonds. I don't want to keep anyone in jail. But when you show me that I give you a PR bond and you continually take off, how am I supposed to continue doing that? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, as the saying goes. And this is not the first, this case is 2 years old. And you want me to give you another PR bond?
If for one, I never had one. I always made a cash bond. If I knew something about a PR bond, I would have requested it first. And I would have did what I had to do. But all times, I always use cash. I never got a PR bond in my life.
Well, I see. So it looks like a 2B was issued in July of 23.
Yes, sir.
You posted an out-of-county bond on December 1st of 23. You were supposed to show up a week later, failed to show up.
Yeah.
And then you post another surety bond on the 10/17/24. You're supposed to be here a week later. Again, you failed to appear.
Trusting the
On-
dispatchers.
No. But that's already 2 times. And now you want me to give you a PR bond
Yeah,
on
I
the
quit the
3rd?
job now, but I don't have nothing in my way. And that was just trusting the dispatch and the job, trying to get home, and they give you unpromised lies, and they could never get me home on time. I always got here the next day after court.
So it's
Or
everybody else's
that
fault?
evening.
It's
No,
everybody else's fault?
No, sir, it's mine. I hold 100% credibility for it. That's why I turned the truck in and got on the Greyhound. I got the Greyhound yesterday morning and got here about, I say about 5 that evening.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then what?
I went to 3 different locations here because they told me they want the place. So I had to find the building to turn myself in. I walked 3 blocks.
Verify they turn something? Just somehow we can verify? I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how I'm supposed to verify that you turned yourself in. I mean, I'm not gonna take your word for it. I don't know you. Never met you before,
Yes, sir.
you know?
Don't have paperwork on me?
I mean, I'll ask him the clerks, but hey, Vic, is there a way to verify that he actually turned himself in as opposed to him getting arrested? You know?
Sheriffs have that information. All we know is if they bond or if they were arrested. If they bond out when they're.
I don't
Went to
even
a
know.
surrender building.
Yeah.
They had surrender on the wall.
Sebastian, tell me about the case.
Yes,
Judge.
Oh, the location.
The PC judge?
Sure.
On July 8th, 2023 in Harris County, Texas, officer met with the complainant witness who stated that she was at her apartment when she received a call from her boyfriend, who was the defendant. The defendant stated that he needed to grab his stuff from her apartment because he was moving back to California. The defendant showed up to the apartment and they were sitting on the stairs to talk. The defendant told the complainant witness that she needs to come to California with him. The complainant witness said she's not going to. The defendant then slapped the complainant witness's drink out of her hand. The complainant walked away from the defendant and back into the apartment. The defendant followed her. As the complainant was walking inside, defendant punched her in the mouth with a closed fist, causing pain.
Do you have the rip done? Do we know?
We've made contact with her. She doesn't want to cooperate.
So if I may, Judge, it sounds like they've tried to reach out 3 times to this witness. She's not on board, is what I would say. Therefore, he's got at least a favorable shot at trial if he wants to go that route. I would ask for a meaningful way to get him out of jail while we continue to pursue this case and try to get this
What do you do
resolved.
with yourself these days?
Man, I'm a regional truck driver. I just quit the company called PB07 Logistics because I want this behind me, Judge. I got off the Greyhound and I came here. I parked the truck in the trailer at like a tow yard that is like a second party to them, which I got full permission to do. And I got a Greyhound. Everything is in my phone. All my evidence is the Greyhound ticket, everything. The jails I Googled. I walked this same block here, 3 different locations. If I wanted to run, I could have because I had bubble guts after the first building I walked out of. I had bubble guts. I said, "No, I'm not ready to do this," but I have to. And so I didn't give up until I found the right place, and that was the surrender place, like 2nd floor.
Well, Judge, I would agree with counsel that, I think we're going to have resolution in this case fairly quickly because we do have all our evidence in. So, in a setting or 2, I'm sure we'll know whether this is going to be set for trial or what we're going to end up doing with it. However,
Mr. Bass, it looks like you did surrender yourself. I'll reward you with a PR bond today. The only thing I'm asking you to do, I'll even give you a lawyer. All I'm asking you to do is stay in contact with him. When you stay in contact with him, when you come back to court, good things happen, When
Yes,
you
sir.
take off, nothing good happens. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean? All right, I'll give you a PR bond today, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to give you another one. You take flight again, and I don't care what. If Jesus comes and says for you to go do something else, I don't care.
Yes, sir.
I won't give you another one.
Yes.
You understand? Just stay in contact with Ricardo. Good things will happen for you.
Yes. And I can't speak one more.
Don't. Just, it's better you
We'll
don't.
talk.
The only other thing I'm going to ask you to do is don't have contact with the complaining witness in this case. Don't have any weapons. That's the only other thing I'm asking you to do. And don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, but once it's all over, I'm gonna marry her. Like she have a kid on the way.
She's on board first.
Yes,
Don't force the situation.
Yes, mother. Yes, sir.
Sebastian, do you mind following those conditions? Just for the time being, don't have contact with
Yes,
her.
sir.
When the case is over, just 99% of the people in custody now, because of no self-control, they get upset and they wig out and they act without thinking, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen?
Yes, sir.
Self-control. Do you understand, Mr. Bass?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Judge, I wanted to reapproach on.
He can't, don't send him down though. We need him to sign conditions, okay? Yeah, please.
I want to reapproach on Christopher Martinez. I believe that we already
Yeah.
see and everything on that. I'm not sure if when I had made contact with the complainant, the complainant has informed me that he wants to have contact with the defendant and that they don't live together anymore, but they share some animals together. So I thought
We need to talk. I need to get Mr. D here so we can,
now I did want to say I filed it no threatening or harassing just in case, but I can get Mr. D over here to.
yeah, I need Mr. D here so we can, you know,
He just sees bond conditions. He was picked up a couple days ago on that warrant. He also picked up a
Brian
PCF
Carter?
case at the same time. So I guess technically the gun case is there, but I
so
guess.
if I can, did you see on Mr. Bass? I granted him a PR bond, waived the fees.
Let's get this out of the way so we're not.
It's 5,002 now. Like the bond is already set, just if you can process a PR bond. Yeah. And then the bond conditions, no contact and no weapons with the complaining witness. Okay, ready, Grant?
Yes, sir.
Your cause number.
So let's see. Gun case is gonna be 2549-495 for Mr. Okoji, and there should have been
Come up, sir. No,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Trying to tell her earlier.
Chisholm, I'll help you out next. And then Teresa, you're after that. All right. Good morning, Mr. Okoji. Sir, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On December 2nd, 2024, officer conducted a follow-up investigation on a reported assault from October 27th, 2024. Officer made contact with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant and her were in a dating relationship for 3 years. And on the day of the incident, the defendant grabbed the complaining witness's phone. And when the complaining witness tried to get her phone back, she was struck in the face with a closed fist multiple times, causing pain. The complaining witness positively ID'd the defendant by a booking photo.
So what about the gun though?
Oh, so, excuse me, Judge. The gun was so that was a 2B, and then he got picked
Oh,
up.
it's a different case.
Right. So then it's a new case from the 28th, where he got picked up a felony PCS and a gun.
I see. Okay,
The
so
UCW.
the UCW is connected to the PCS upstairs. Got
Yes,
it. All right. So I'm going to find probable cause to go forward on both of your cases, Mr. Okoji. On the assault of a family member, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? I am entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Nolasco as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Sir.
If you violate this, the state can and probably will file a violation of a protective order. That's one of the worst misdemeanor cases you can pick up. Do you understand?
Sir.
All I'm asking you to do is don't pick up any new cases, don't have any contact, don't have any weapons.
Sir.
Now you got a great lawyer. Listen to him. He'll take care of you because you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you pick up a new case, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
It's 254-8574.
85.
I don't know if that's the UCW or if that's the assault.
You want the,
So on the assault, I want to grant them up.
Came back.
Come up, Mr. Sanders. All right, so Mr. Sanders, you're back. Fatima, do you have the results?
Something positive for PCP, Judge?
No, that's it. I gave you the opportunity. You're not to use. All right, he goes with you.
I did do a brief research on it. It does say it's between 7 and 14 days from what, I mean, this is Google. But,
He was arrested on the 10th of this month.
and he tested on the 15th.
He's not supposed to use regardless.
Well, right. But it would still be in the system based on him using, let's say, the 10th. On the day that he was arrested.
Would not stay in his system from the 10th of the month until now, which is the 31st of the month. That's 2.5 weeks. 2 to 2.5 weeks. No, you're not to, I told you, no alcohol, no dope. You tested positive, you're not to use. I mean, on a urine test, they can last 7 to 14 days. Right?
Right, that's what I think.
It's been 3 weeks. No, it goes with you. Sorry, Mr. Sanders. I'm going to give you a chance to clean up, but I'm not going to continue to play this game. I don't want you using. Do you understand?
Judge, could address the bond at this point now as well.
Tell me. The bond is set at $1,000. What do you want? That's right. No rush.
You said $7,000? I see it 1,000. Okay.
1,000 now.
Judge, I'd ask that you leave it as is.
No. Oh, there has to be some kind of consequence, man.
Judge, they just remade the bond on the felony case for this violation as well.
So they already took him into custody because of this as well for upstairs?
Yes, Judge, they did.
Yeah, no, you can't, Mr. Sanders, that's it. If you continue to use, what I'm gonna do is I'll have a contempt hearing, possibly hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in a rehab facility. We are giving you now the opportunity to stop on your own. If you're unable to, we will take matters into our own hands. I don't want to have to do that, but if you're going to force our hands, it goes with you.
I'm sorry, Judge, what did you say?
I don't know. You give me, it's not.
1,500? Can you do 1,500?
What do you think?
It's fine, Judge.
1,500. But I'm now going to test him like crazy. And if it continues to happen,
Yes, sir.
so please admonish him accordingly.
Yes, sir.
All right, so 1501. Hi, you ready?
Judge, may I approach?
Thank you for being so patient.
I have this good back on docket today to readdress his bond. It got pushed back because of the snowstorm, and he made bond, or he got bond set in both of his felony cases. His ag assault is 50 and his evading is 25. Ours are both set at 50. We will request if we can lower it to 5,000 in these cases, Judge.
I'm so sorry. Has he made bond on any?
He has not made bond on anyone. I don't presume that he would, but 50,000 on his 2 misdemeanors.
I know, I get it, that's significant, and I'm ready to go down with you, but 5,000, I mean, he's on probation for felon in possession of weapon. Then he picks up an evading arrest, then he picks up an assault, then he picks up an aggravated assault, and now he's picked up a terroristic threat.
You'd be okay with that?
Judge, we'd ask for 10,000 because the same complainant too, with the terroristic threat, and then the AFM as well, and then
Tell me the ag assault's the same one
and complaint
too?
as well, Your Honor. And that's why 10,000 is what we'd ask.
I'll cut it to 20.
20?
for now.
Okay.
Yeah, if he does make bond in the felony case, just let me know and, yeah, okay?
Can I send these to you?
Sure, of course. Yeah, I'll take it. I usually do it myself so that you don't have to do it, you know? But for future reference, just, I can do it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Have excuse,
Yes,
Judge.
ma'am.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah, you sure?
Can I give you a case number?
Yeah, what is it? I'm ready.
Oh, 25-22-302. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Since it's a mature case, I was proactive and I talked to Kelsey because we're waiting on an approval. So I didn't want him to come in if they don't give an approval yet. They're backed up now. There's another reason I'm coming in.
approval from Ashley?
Yeah.
So you appealed it?
Yeah, no, I didn't appeal it. I sent it to Nathan before he left, but he didn't get to it.
Okay. Has anyone gotten to it now? Do you know?
We just have pending approval at this time.
Okay, so let's set it off a week. How mature is this, you know? Are you set, when are you set, Monday?
2-6.
Shoot Ashley an email and CC me.
I mean, we might get approval between now and then.
Well, if he gets approval before now and then, I'll set it for PTI. I'll come in because I have other cases on 2-6. Can we get his appearance waived then? I'm not gonna be here at 2-6. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks.
Hi, John D. Hey, let's do it. Come on. Hi, Joseph. What's new, man?
May I approach on an off docket
Of course. Come on up. What's your cause number?
254-7203.
Okay. On Joaquin Hernandez.
Like Ian Yes, so, at his arraignment setting, you ordered no driving as a bond condition. And I wanted to see if we could revisit that.
It's been about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Right. Okay. He's got no prior criminal history. My colleague was here, so I wasn't here for the whole thing. But
Get alcohol in the car while he was driving.
okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm asking.
Yeah, there was no food container.
Yes, Judge, there was 12 ounce Michelob Ultra cold touch as well as a plastic margarita to go.
Have a good one.
So I had him take an 8-hour, they called it a level 1 DUI risk reduction program, which he completed on January 29th.
See here.
I tried to fit this in earlier this week on docket. I've been really busy, so I didn't tell him to come here today.
I would like to talk to him though, because I want to know how it has impacted him so that he knows that we mean business and that, so, and I'm here every day. So Joseph, whenever you want to come in, but I want to hear it from him, you know, because I want him to understand that, you know, it's freaking elementary that you're not supposed to have that. You know what I mean? I appreciate the proactivity and I like it. Let me talk to him and then.
Okay. I'll let him know. I mean, it's really hurting him for obviously for work purposes.
That's what I want to know, right? And that's what I want.
He drives, he has a.
I remember this is the guy that kept coming back and forth asking, was this that gentleman?
I wasn't here. My colleague Catherine McCready was.
That's what, then it is. Because I remember, yes, because he was like beside himself that I took the privilege to drive away. And she came like 4 to 5 different times asking me to please relent, please let it, you know? So, great. Well, no, because I'm, you know, the idea is to get him to realize, man, you can't be doing shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
At the same time.
which is great, which is, we're thankful for.
Wouldn't you rather, I mean, I think, wouldn't you rather have him on the interlock versus?
No, because I want him to realize what it is to not be able to drive. And I think that people would appreciate it more because living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive really, really sucks.
Oh, yeah.
It really sucks, you know, especially when you need it to work, you know, and hopefully this will,
Okay.
and it looks like it has.
Oh, yeah, no, he's taking everything very seriously, Judge.
Have him come and then I will.
I'll see, yeah, I think we can do it on Monday.
Okay, I'm here. Yeah, for sure, Justin. Hi, counsel, come on up.
How are you?
Pretty good. How's it? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Colby Sims. You just kind of talked to him about the reckless driving charge and he's on a pretrial intervention or something for evading arrest.
Yeah, he's on no. He has an open felony evading in a motor vehicle, and now he's picked up a reckless driving where there was an accident.
I'm not challenging, the, probable cause, Your Honor. Just the, you gave him no driving conditions. He goes to a special school. He has Asperger's. Parents work first shift. They're under, dad has had to take off work all week, go in late to take him to school and then leave early to take them home. They live about 8 miles from the school. And we just want to know if you could modify.
No, it was, I mean, if you, the facts here, it's a alleged menace. I mean, the facts of this case are really bad. I mean, there was an accident because of the
driving. Your Honor, and I don't know everything about the case, but.
Hold on, come up, Mr. Sims. I'd like you to hear it so that you get
Yeah, I saw the summary. I saw the summary. I know that there's a dash cam on his vehicle. And I believe the state they have the SD card. But what it purports to show is that he wasn't weaving in and out of traffic. He was hit from the back, Your Honor.
When you told me the facts here, he hit the other person, or did he brake check and then he got, and then he got, okay.
Yes.
So you need to understand that you live in Houston, and when you get into these road rage incidents like this, people get shot and killed with events like this. And the reason I did this is because this is not the first contact that we have of a serious nature where other lives are in danger, but we now have also a felony evading arrest in a motor vehicle. And the last thing I want is another death on the road. I understand that you have obligations. I understand that, but the last thing I want is someone to get injured, you killed, or where you've dug yourself in such a hole that you're stuck like Chuck in custody because of some. I understand that you have stuff, but I don't want you in a car. You're a danger in a car. Now, it's not absolute. If I see after a while that you appreciate it and you show me that you have taken proactive measures, and I'll let your lawyer explain it to you. Nothing's ever set in stone, but you scare me in a car.
Would I be allowed to come back at a later date to address?
Yes, of course, counsel.
Active.
Yes, absolutely. And, we do that all the time. But the idea is driving is a privilege. It is not a right. The right is you can walk, but not to drive. And every day, someone dies in Houston because of something in a car. And I'm going to try to prevent that at all costs. Okay. So whenever you're ready, come back, let me know, and then we can talk again about it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
Rapprocho?
Yes, counsel.
Nami Nwanko. Earlier today, a no contact order was entered, banning him from this address 9326 Clarewith Drive. The complainant, because that's allegedly what the complainant was. The complainant is not at that address. So we're asking the court to modify the bond condition.
I spoke to the complainant about 15 minutes ago, and she clarified she had moved and has no intention of ever going back.
Then we'll amend it for you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
So, you sent me out the MOA on Nwanko. I'll amend. All I'm taking out is a residential restriction. So just please let them know everything in the MOA still stands except for the residence thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Judge.
for sure. Thank you.
Just tell me, I'll go get it.
Hey, Greg, I'm leaving right at noon, okay?
You mind if I do it for you?
I'll wait. Just meeting for the day, or I'll just wait until the day.
I'm leaving in about half an hour.
Okay.
Judge, they're dismissing my felony once Greg's case pleads, do you mind if I?
We've signed all the paperwork. Herman's on the felony. So
Okay,
that's why.
let's do it. I don't think you need to stay, Herman, do you?
Oh,
Well, I need to confirm it.
he needs it to go through so he can go through. I'm not like.
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
Okay, let's do that.
Look at Herman.
I'm just repeating everything what you said.
It's funny.
Coach.
Okay, yeah.
Patterson.
Hi, Harold. Mr. Landino, always a pleasure. How are you, man?
Sir, good to see you, Judge. So I'm one of your MAC attorneys today, Judge, and I have a couple clients, but on Miss Patterson, she's
Yes.
struggling. It's a trespassing case.
Okay.
And it's a little weird, but I think you might have issued conditions for no contact at all.
Okay.
And we're going to ask if the state was in agreement to change that to no threatening, harassing, assaultive contact.
So my thing is that I always want to honor the wishes of the complaining witness. If they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
I spoke with the complainant and she's fine with them living together and still contact. It's just no threatening, harassment being.
Where is Miss Patterson? Come up, Miss Patterson. So. Got it, yeah. So I will amend your conditions to order you not to have any threatening or harassing contact. What you need to understand, what is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It's what she perceives. So is this threatening or harassing? It most certainly is, and it can land you in jail. So I don't know what kind of relationship you have, but if it's one that you're constantly butting heads, be careful, because you're the one that's going to end up in jail if there's another fight and she comes up and she starts complaining. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's done. All right, so you file it, we'll sign it, and then you guys are free to go. And one more thing, you must stay in touch with Mr. Landry. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you've gone AWOL, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Don't pick up a new case. Okay, good luck.
It's written out.
Okay.
You should make that change, right?
Jawad Akoji?
All right, you ready? Come on.
Ten and 11.
Page 10, 11, 12, and 13, more like it, right? Mr. Martinez, you were charged with evading arrest, theft, failure to identify oneself, driving while intoxicated, and you also have a felony theft of a firearm. What are we doing?
He is pleading guilty to DWI and evading, 30, credit for 23, and then they are going to dismiss the felony. That's why Herman's here. He's on the felony.
So, well, they're going to dismiss what, the felony theft?
Once he pleads, they're going to dismiss the felony, yes.
So we're going forward on the DWI and the evading?
Yes, Your Honor. That is correct.
Mr. Martinez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated and evading arrest. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On the evading arrest, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail with credit for the 23 days. He actually has 26 days credit.
It's 26 days credit on one and 22 on the other.
Okay. You need to understand that these charges will go on your record. The evading arrest is an enhanceable offense. If you ever run from the cops again, you will be charged with a felony offense. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The DWI is also going on in your record as well. So if you ever get pulled over by an officer, they're going to look up your record. They're going to see, man, this guy's got a lot of baggage on his record. If they smell alcohol or if they smell dope on you, what do you think they're going to do?
I already know it. They're gonna pick me up.
From now on, you are facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you were taking a humongous risk.
Sir.
You understand?
Or drugs. Or
Anything.
drugs.
When I informed Mr. Martinez,
Okay, any
for your
drugs,
purposes, even though he's getting his theft dismissed, it's gonna be based on a conviction on another case, so it's not expungable. The statute does not allow that case to be expunged,
Which one?
the theft of a firearm.
Do you understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't think any of the cases. Or wait a second, hold on a second.
Separate, the ones that are separate transactions, Your Honor.
All three are out of the same transaction.
Okay, well then, yeah.
Yeah, so the evading, theft, failure to ID, all those are based out of the same transaction because none of the cases can be expunged. So the ones that are dismissed, they're going to stay on there, they'll be dismissed, but the others will reflect as a conviction on your record. That's what I'm saying. From now on, it's a minimum of 90 days in jail for anything that you pick up here in misdemeanor court. You understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is what you want to do. How do you plead to both of the cases, guilty or not guilty?
Good, sir.
I want you to understand one more thing, Mr. Martinez, that DWI is big business in Harris County. There's a $3,000 surcharge that normally would apply to this. I'm not going to stick it on you now because it's a first offense, but on a second DWI, you're looking at a $6,000 surcharge that you get hit on a second DWI. Get a clue, take an Uber. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Just so I know, to tell him on that, are you running a concurrent with the ALR suspension?
No, no. He's got 5 open cases. What else you want? A ribbon too? No,
To ask.
no.
Okay.
You have a license suspension. You're not allowed to drive.
I was trying to ask you about that.
Yeah, that's good.
No, that's it.
Do you have, yeah, just sit down.
Thank you.
Do you have ribbons to give out, Jeff? Do you have ribbons?
Get your brother. He's a cousin of it right here. Yeah, wait.
Good morning, Your Honor. Well, good afternoon, Mayor Pro. I
Yeah,
have an off-docket matter.
good job, Herman. Job well done.
You're rotating towards the side these days, yeah?
All right, tell me what you got.
It's Cesar Hernandez,
No, I need a-
250-9957.
That's an old case.
Yeah.
Tell me.
He's on docket for Monday to enter PTI. He's having some money issues. He assured us he can have,
He was supposed to pay it. He assured us that he was going to pay it. It's supposed to be done by
Yes, sir.
that day.
So if it's not done by Monday, you're not gonna, because he says one more week and he can get the
No,
portable.
I'm rolling him day for day. This case is like beyond old. He assured us that he was going to have it done. And all we keep doing is reset. No, he's got to be here Monday if it's not done. And then I'm going to roll him day for day until it's done.
Thank you. I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you ready? Day?
Judge page 1 and 2, defendant was transferred to immigration and is not coming back.
Ricardo, on, Argudin Roman,
Yes, Judge. So, I've had him go both ways. He's one of the ones that, didn't make the bond. And, I don't have any update from him. When he was out here, he was homeless. And so the best I can say is, more than likely, he's been.
okay, all right, so, I guess just do all at, 5,003, because that's what we got. Because he's got 3 cases, and then,
Yes?
yeah,
Let me know when you're ready for the next
all
one.
right. Vic, you ready?
Yes. Next judge is page 4, Cazares. He says, step for arraignment also appear, but he said it's because it's in the hospital. I asked for proof. This is what I got. Yeah, I need to know. That's very
So about that, this hospital documentation, that's what he said. He said he was in the hospital.
Oh.
But there's no like address, no phone number, no email. I can't remember.
That's, no.
So what do you want me to do? I have his phone number.
So SFBF Monday, if he fails to appear Monday, that looks like it's on a bar napkin, so no. So if he fails to appear Monday, it gets revoked.
Next judge is page 5, Esparza, set for arraignment also appear, 3 bonds posted.
7503,
PO?
yep.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready for the next.
Okay, who's next?
All right, Judge, next is page 6, Espinosa, Step 4 Raymond on the 27th was unable to make it, so we voted for today.
2501. And then,
Page 6 Flores.
2501. And then Granda,
Who?
bottom of page 7.
Yes, so I received the call. His family says he's in ICE custody and they're working on hiring an attorney.
SFBF Monday. And then what we'll do is we'll look to verify that he's actually in custody. If not, then we move on.
All right, Judge?
But remind me in the morning, so we don't do it at like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's on Judge's page 9, Jackson. Well, you heard what happened.
Yeah, 2501. You know, just call mom back and say he didn't show, so we had to issue a warrant. If he makes it in, then, you know, we'll.
Next is top of page 13, Martinez. The sheriff's department actually called yesterday, he told them that they're there to pick them up and bring them back here. And you signed the bench warrant. So if we go into Monday, I imagine this is going to be.
Okay. Roll Monday.
Next one. Page 14, McGee was set for arraignment yesterday, failed to appear.
2501.
On both.
Both, yeah.
Next is page 15, Mier. Set for arraignment failed to appear. However, I did receive this email from him and I got one from Robin Brown. He says he's checking himself in.
No.
I know.
No.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get those here right now. I'm doing it right now, sorry about that.
SFBF.
Okay.
SFBF Monday, and we'll appoint him a lawyer, and then we'll see. We'll actually see whether he's checked himself in or not, and if he hasn't, then it gets revoked.
Okay, and Robin Brown did say he was still.
Let's process that now.
Okay.
If you can let them, Robin Brown, yeah, take it off.
Mier, M-E-I.
It's page 15, top of page 15.
Gotcha.
That's it.
No. Bottom of page 19, I granted that. Okay, so Sanders, I didn't do a BO on that. I need to. So we did,
That's when we took in the custody.
yeah, so if that's 1501 on that, let me make sure I get that down.
And Abel wanted me to leave him for Monday.
Guys, after that. Hey, who's that? Okay, your lawyer's, ma'am, your lawyer's right there. He's gonna, no, just hold on. He's gonna come get you in a second.
Here's your recess, that's the next court date, it's set its file.
That's, I think here's your last one.
And really, here's probably your.
Yeah, whatever you want. No, I don't need her. You're good.
So let me talk to her. They will say you don't need to.
You guys have a wonderful weekend.